Good morning and welcome to the April 30th meeting of the Fitchburg Housing Authority. I now call this meeting to order. Time is now 8:32 a.m. on Wednesday, April 30th. Please be advised that FATV is conducting an audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. I ask that if anyone in the audience is recording this meeting, please identify themselves for the record now by standing and stating their name and city of residence. At this time, I ask that all electronic devices be placed in silent mode. At this time, we will open up for public comment. I invite anyone in the audience who wishes to speak to please stand, identify yourself by name and the city of residence, and identify the agenda item on which you would like to speak. And then you may speak on it for no more than 2 minutes. Okay, seeing no one wishing to speak, we will now move into our agenda. Okay, agenda item number 3, motion to approve the minutes of the FHA regular board meeting held on March 27, 2025. So motion made by Commissioner Goodwin. Second. Second by Commissioner Basilio. All in favor? Aye. Item number 4, motion to approve the minutes of the FHA executive session meeting held on March 27, 2025. Motion by Commissioner Wagner. Second. Second by Commissioner Goodwin. Any questions on the motion? All in favor? Motion carries. All right. Notice to propose amendments to bylaws. Term limits. Okay. I will make the motion. Motion made by Commissioner Goodwin. I want to second that one. He's like, oh dear, oh wow, okay, all right. Oh, second by Commissioner Spillane. All in favor? Aye. Aye.
So this, just to be clear, this is just a notice of the amendment. We're not actually voting on the amendment right now. As you might have guessed, this is clearly in response to the chairperson uses and so far. No, so I read the handbook that we all got. Mm-hmm. It made a good point that having a term limit on your chairperson helps you avoid issues of like consolidation of power, expectation of power, right? If that chairperson keeps going. Mm-hmm. But also, and I thought this might have been even more interesting, you want to have a farm, like a farm team. So having that position open up every 3 years, right? You can get another member to do it. Another member is forced to do it, and they can grow into a scale, right? And if they want to keep doing it, they can. But at least they have an opportunity to figure it out. And so this is in no way related to Chairman Hughes at all. We just thought it was a decent idea.
Yeah, I would say Commissioner Goodwin's idea on this is for the board to consider. In all seriousness, the subcommittee met, Jens and Adam and myself, and it's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
It is a good idea.
It is good. It's I always have been of the opinion that one person stance is only called a stalemate. You know what I mean? You don't get a professional perspective. No one else we become comfortable and complacent. You know what I mean? And then so I want to make sure we foster a culture that is going to be moved. Things got to be moved. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure anyone else, we all serve on the same board, but we have different thoughts, different ideas on how we're going to do things, and we'll never get that unless we foster change. So I do support it, even though I get kicked out of the Okay. All right. Motion to approve the payables March through April FY25.
Chair, I could just interject really quick.
Yes, sir.
This is just a notice for our bylaws at the May meeting. This will be a motion to approve or disapprove. Mm-hmm. And I would just ask if anybody had any questions on the terminology, if you want to raise it now or before, maybe 2 weeks before the next board meeting. But I think that Commissioner Goodwin, Commissioner Spillane, I think it really meets what we're looking for. So if I hear no additional comments, I'll have this as a motion to approve at the May meeting. And I think that
Determinants question.
Okay. I don't anticipate any other changes to the FHA bylaws. If not, then we're going to take all the changes that are made and I'll have a new bylaw binder made, distributed to the board members.
Perfect. Okay. All right, Mr. Bozeman, why don't you continue on with your report?
Sure. Next, on page 6, item 6, motion to approve the January, March financial reports. This is issued every month in a cumulative. This is the first one for this calendar year, fiscal year, because it was the end of the year, plus the state rejected our budget, inverted it, and we made some modifications and now it's been approved. And now every month you will receive, the next month it'll be January, April to cumulative budget. This is the first month for this fiscal year you're having this. I think it looks fantastic. Our reserve rate is well above the 35% threshold. So I would ask the board, it's a motion to approve. I put in there as a motion to approve, so I make sure that the board members have access to it and they can see it. It's not that you're agreeing or disagreeing with the numbers, but you're approving that this has been submitted and you've had eyes on it and you've had the document.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the January through March FY25 financial report?
Motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Basilio, second. Second by Commissioner Goodwin. We have heard from Mr. Bozeman in terms of making sure the board have access to this information. We've been updated along the way in this process. Are there any other comments or questions regarding this motion? All in favor? Aye. So moved. Mr. Bozeman.
Item number 7 on page 6 of my report, motion to approve payables for March 2025. Motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Basilio.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Spillane. Are there any questions on the motion? No question, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Mr. Bozeman.
Just very quickly, we're in the audit management process right now. We're preparing for our PMR, which we rescheduled. It's going to be held next week. Andrew's been submitting a lot of documents that the state requires. There'll be an on-site inspection next Thursday. It's a good chance for us to see what we're doing right, what needs to be improved to make those modifications. And every PMR, every audit is a little bit different. We learn as we go along. And so we're looking forward to the state coming out next Thursday. And once the results, the desk audit, which has already been done, was very good. The only issue they had was our rent collection, our TAR report, but we explained that and what was going on and our lease enforcement action. So hopefully, I would anticipate either May or June, the final PMR will be ready for the board's review. Okay. Grant submittals, nothing new. We are working on today. The comp mod grant to submit, the board's already approved it. We have a letter for the chairman to sign for our submission. I still have tabled the Housing Choice Voucher Homeownership Program. Brianna's been nonstop working on this new grant submission. Hopefully we'll have something for you next month to review. That's all for the motions. I'll just ask if any of the board members have any questions on my board report. It was a very light month for motions.
It was the lightest month I think I've seen. Yeah. 6 years.
I want to thank Commissioner Spillane and Commissioner Goodwin for the high school presentation we did 2-3 weeks ago.
I think it was longer ago.
Yeah. Last month, not April 2nd.
It was technically in the same month.
April 2nd. It was great. I thought it was great getting out there.
And I want to thank, on the same note, I want to thank Doug. They did not ask for his presence, but he graced us with it. And it was, I think we had a very inside baseball conversation with the students that I hope.
Yeah.
I did not see any of them sleeping. So that's pretty positive.
Yes.
It was like right after.
Oh.
Perfect.
I want to thank Cam for getting tablets out to everybody. Everybody's got their tablets?
Yeah, I haven't picked mine up yet, but I know it's available.
Really, that's you know, it's really in promotions. We've been really working hard and getting ready for the performance management review. A lot of construction related items we've been working on. I'm looking at a date for the late July, do a tour with state officials for Wallace. So I believe I sent an email out regarding that. We're going to reach out to the governor, lieutenant governor, and the secretary of housing. They have them come down, but it's probably the largest public housing modernization project in the history of the HLC. And we want to show the public the progress we've had to date. The first floor is coming along nicely. We're anticipating that the ground floor, half of it will be finished in July. Because it's an active construction site, we could not have you tour, it's not. So we're hoping at the end of July, the anticipation is the new community will be finished.
So the tenants will have access.
I cannot say that,
Okay.
because there may be storage issues. And we're working on some matters for, we believe we solved the problem when the washer and dryer was shut down. We're going to take a unit that's already offline and install washers and dryers. That was Bruce Buntrick's idea. We visited that. We're gonna do that. We are finalizing balcony lights. That will be a change order, but I think the property lit up at night is going to be an asset to the community of Fitchburg. So it's going on very, very nicely as a gut rehab of the building can. There's always issues, but we've been plowing ahead. Andrew, I don't know if you want to add anything to that. No, it's a pretty good summary.
We spent about, I think, 4 to 6 million already. We paid the contractor. I don't want to say it's more than that. Based on what the checks I made.
Yes.
So I was just kind of keeping track of my head.
The recent
You could be right.
application for payment on this project, according to the contractor, I believe they're 34% complete.
So it would be more than 4 million, maybe closer to 8.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. I missed a couple million. Sorry.
Well, you and I, Janice is the main check signer these days. You and I take turns, so it would be that I sign for it, you sign for it.
One of the trucks that George used helped us procure, it was delivered 2 days ago. Beautiful, it's a 250. Beautiful truck.
Is it red?
It's Fitchburg red. It's got the decal inside.
Oh,
So we're waiting for one more truck. And is that the 1 ton? I think that's the 1 ton truck that's going to be coming in, hopefully soon. So we'll have 4 brand new red trucks. And the plan is to take the 2 blue trucks and to dispose of them for mass procurement laws and sell them. I don't really think they wanted us to trade them.
Oh, really? Yeah, they in that bad shape, huh?
Oh, yeah, Frank rusted, they're bad. They've been making them for like 10 years.
Yeah.
At least.
I did reach out to some law firms to get interest in getting a motor vehicle policy for staff, waiting to procure an attorney on that.
Oh, good.
With them using their own vehicles around.
Yeah, I want to look at what other municipalities, what they do
Right.
for motor vehicles.
So after hours staff, yeah, and on site, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a question. Is there any way we could get an update on the vacancy? You know what I mean, and how that's going?
It's in your report.
Yeah, I saw that in the report before, so I just want to.
Andrew, you want to take that?
Yep. So going off of the executive director's report on page 10, the vacancy rate for April 1st, it held at 76 units. And the days vacant increased from the 29,551 to 31,742. But if you exclude the offline units and ready to occupy, that dropped to 93 days. So of the 76 vacancies, we have 63 that are offline for various fish construction projects, 11 units that were ready to occupy as of the date of the report, leaving 2 units that were not offline, even rehab. And if you look at the attachment D, which is the vacancy report. We go to page 6, you can see the month of March, the developments where the units were leased and where they vacated. So it's kind of a wash. We had 3 units leased, 3 units that vacated.
How are things going with Champ and other systems that we know have been issues in the past? Are those still continuing to be maybe the biggest challenge in leasing units, or are there other things that we've been facing?
We have had to transfer some people due to conditions in their apartments. That has increased the time that it's taking for us to turn over those units. And then once we get them ready, we are now pulling multiple a list in Champ that gives you the ability to do multiple offers rather than just one offer per list, which is what we were doing before. So this was on advice from our housing management specialist. They said you really should be pulling one list with multiple offers, and that way you can pull more people, and the list is a little bit more valuable in that way. So for 3 bedrooms, we had to pull a new list, and we pulled a list of 200 people. And we put on there that we're going to have 7 offers. So that gives us the duration of that list life in Champ to make 7 offers whenever they come about. So that new approach, I think, is going to help.
Whenever the 3 bedrooms come online,
Yes.
they're ready. So
When did that change happen?
We just discussed that. I think it was in January, making that change. And the first list was pulled that way, and I want to say either end of February or beginning of March.
Okay.
So they're working on that now to lease up some of these ready to occupy units. Right.
what about in-house transfers? What do they fall? If there's a family that want to move from 2 or 3, how do they fall? Do they have to apply, or do they have to?
Yeah, so if someone wants to transfer just because they want a different unit, they have to apply through Champ. If they are requesting a unit because they are underhoused, meaning they need another bedroom for their household size, we maintain a separate list outside of Champ. And then when units come available, we offer people transfers based on that. Okay. Another reason is sometimes we have to force transfers when somebody is overhoused. So if they have too many units and not enough people because someone has moved out, then we tell them you have to transfer. So that's another reason why we would do that as well.
All right. How's maintenance, you guys keeping up with turning the apartments over? Are you turning them over in 30 days now?
They're still a little behind on that because they're still catching up. The problem is when they're catching up, by the time they're caught up on what was old, the stuff that was new is now old. So it's kind of like a continual game of that.
Not learning that.
I do think that we're in better position than we've ever been when it comes to the vacancies. And we did talk about hiring some more temps because we know that we have a little bit of room in the budget. And I think that the temps will also help to push vacancies kind of through the finish line. I think what's going to really make a difference is when this Wallace Tower project is finished, this number is going to drop significantly because over half of this number 86 is at Wallace Tower.
Oh, yeah, I realize that, but I'm just wondering if they're, as I know they're working overtime, we're not like pulling them out all week.
Most of the overtime right now is just to get ready for the PMR. We want to, as soon as the PMR is over and we're caught up with that, we want to decrease the overtime dramatically.
Did we get extra money to pay the overtime for the turnovers?
They don't pay overtime, they give you a flat rate, so we lose a little bit of money on the overtime.
So it makes more sense for us to hire temps in that case and bring them on board.
Yeah.
And then maybe if the position opens up, then we can keep some of these temps. That's how we've hired some people now, and it's worked out pretty well.
And then you got no problem with that?
No, they have not.
How much that here?
It's actually helping them get things done. Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of work. It's not like the temps coming in or taking away work from the union because they still have plenty of work to do.
Yeah, they're giving stuff up. They can't handle it for that.
And we've been doing the scheduled overtime up until we had to do the PMR. Now it's unscheduled overtime, so it's kind of unlimited. But as Mr. Bushman mentioned, after the PMR is finished, it's going to go back to scheduled overtime. So what that means is that when we have particular units that need work to be done to kind of get over the finish line, we will make that assessment and let the staff know how many people we need, how many hours, and then they come and do the work for whatever day it is that we schedule.
We are going to be providing more staff support in the public housing division for lease subs and lease enforcement. And I've increased staff support for Bruce for modernization facilities. the amount of construction projects that we have, it's too much for just 1.5 people in that department. So now we'll have a full-time assistant helping with maintenance and for modernization. And we're gonna put more staff support for Genesis and her team. It's,
Do you have somebody that step up?
yeah, we have a couple people. We have a temp that's currently employed, that's worked out phenomenally. We have other people that want to step up into new positions.
You're gonna try to do it yourself. He's gonna try to do it.
Everything.
Yeah,
Well,
You can't do that.
the goal is 30 days turnaround.
right.
It is,
What is it on average, has it been in the past?
in the past, when we got here, there were units that were vacant for years.
2 years, some of them, so it was just minor things, like speaking walking.
I've never been there.
And the immediate goal right now is to make sure that we're in the first quarter of this year, of the current year, that we have nothing from the prior year. We're pretty much meeting that standard. And, but yeah, when we got here, there were units that were years.
We're not paying any fines on, you're not assessing us anything,
No, because we're,
vacancy, right?
no, we have on the books, I think, $250,000 of fines to go to the state.
There is also in my board report to the charges. You can see, I think I have all of 24. So for the entirety of 24, the fees that we were charged was $4,000. Which I know seems like a lot, but if you flip the page 12, you'll see that historically it was much higher than that. And that is again, when waivers aren't approved in the system, it's more of an administrative process. If you haven't marked the correct waiver, put the correct information, if it gets rejected,
Right.
all the days that they took reviewing it before they reject it are now subject to fees. And then when you ask for a new waiver, basically it starts the clock over and they will approve it up to the date of your request. But all the days before that, you're subject to fees. So if you put in a request and they deny it and you find out a month later, you're responsible for 30 days of fees. You then have to put in a new request. And even if they approve it 30 days later, you're covered because your request up to your request date. So that's the reason why when you look back at 24, we had a couple because the state, and you may remember we covered this during one of our board meetings in 2024, that they have a new standard for the waivers. They're more strict. And that's why in the beginning of 24, we had a lot of fees because a lot of the waivers we were requesting were getting denied. By the time we got the notification of the denial, it had been several days. When we put in a corrected waiver request, we still were subject to fees.
So why do they have these crazy fees when they're never gonna collect them anyway?
Now they do.
Yes.
They are
They're not going backwards.
Right.
But they could. It's one of those things. where-
Well, that's what I've been saying, it's like they're gonna hit us with a $200 million bill.
Well,
It's one of those, we don't want to do this, but we might have to if you're not.
Yeah,
right.
On politics.
Yeah. But how about being compliant, right?
And they don't bill you, they reduce your subsidy. But what's happening is that our rent account is over $1 million. Alicia and her team have gotten the system down of the rent collections are going much better, but her team, how they're processing the model and reimbursement money, she's got it on a conveyor belt. So a year ago, this time, our rent account was at $300,000. Now it's over $1 million. Yeah, so we're getting the work done, processing those invoices, and we're very particular on the invoices for my projects, because if the maintenance staff does not report they work on a reimbursable project, you can use that money.
Right,
So we've got a great system,
right,
very,
People are stepping up and doing their jobs now.
right. It's it's in a much smoother, not perfect, but it's much smoother than what it was.
and I'll be honest with you, there's always areas for improvement.
Right, yeah,
We're not, and this, every time we do a PMR or an AUP, and then they're not doing an AUP this year, we skip every other year, we learn something.
Mhm.
We learn something. And,
It's about management also,
yeah,
management style, like I keep saying. Management style, before they had no management, before Mr. Bushman. Yeah.
It's,
I'm
it's,
not pat one back or anything. I'm just saying.
I'm sure this is a
No,
really
yeah.
show.
yeah,
Well,
He certainly does have stuff. I don't know what that.
we, I'm sure I'd say.
No, no.
But, you know, like, we always learn something.
Right.
That's why they come out and they test you.
Yeah.
And, our big thing now is that, and we're gonna do an after action review with the staff, is that we never want to see staff with a pen and a piece of paper. They've got tablets, that's management maintenance.
that is,
We don't want anything written down, and I'm a paper guy. But when it comes to work orders, stuff like that,
yeah,
inspections, we were one of the first housing authorities to issue tablets. We did it in Marlboro before the state had it.
right.
In 19, we issued tablets. If it's not recorded in that electronic system, it doesn't exist.
So like this, and that's in real time. And, and everyone can actually see, you don't have to go searching through 1,000 pieces of paper to, you know, it's right there.
They're not waiting 2 weeks for a Friday morning to everybody sitting
Right.
in the office and do paperwork and try to figure out what they did 2 weeks ago.
And it's easily audited too, right? You can audit your house internally and see, that's good.
So as soon as they do a workout, they have it right in
Yes,
the system.
and that's what Andrew's been doing, is they're uploading the data to the state. They don't want to see pieces of paper.
No,
No,
They want to see the data uploaded, and we get that from our software system. But right, if an inspection and a work order or any issues not recorded in our software system, it just simply does not exist.
Mhm.
And but you know, we'll do an after action review with the staff and say, okay, this is what we did good, where we need some improvement on.
good. All right. Anything else?
No,
Do we need to go into executive session?
I have nothing.
Have nothing. Okay.
I got a question on the financial report a little bit.
Okay.
That millions of dollars that they gave us for the Walsh Towers that we have in the account. Where does it say how much interest we're making with these projects in the financial report? I'm not going crazy, but I was looking for that. I found the account it's in a money market account.
I believe I went over that.
Any idea off the top of your head? I mean, how's it?
I discussed this with Cam yesterday.
Or what percentage it's going?
I'm not sure what the percentage, but we're estimating at least a $300,000 catch, if not higher, of all the interest once the project is closed down. And I think we've expended 205 to date. If not a little bit more.
No, actually,
I'm sorry?
it's a little lower actually. We're spent probably around 204 and there's been an additional 138,000 that's been generated that's still in the account generating interest. So the estimate is probably gonna be close to 400.
So out of that 400,
So, yeah. Got 13 million left in that account.
so out of that account, paid for the 2 brand new trucks, the recent trainings that we've done, some other odds and ends. So it's
Push training as much as you can. The more training, the better. Even with the maintenance guys, the office help. Because that makes it more efficient.
having an additional truck is going to be very, and those trucks will going to snap eventually. Literally.
Yeah, every year we've had a problem with them, so.
Yeah.
Right.
We will get another big job and they'll give us more money to make interest on. Because with the big companies, the corporate companies, what they do, they hold off on paying their bills. Because if it's in my account for 30 days longer than your account, I make the interest and you know.
You'll become the financial housing authority instead of.
Well, it's almost that point. I mean, I'm trying to read this financial report and I'm saying, wow, holy crap. It's crazy. But it's good.
Yeah.
So we're going to generate over 400,000 at the end. I think we spent 204. All right, getting those 2 new trucks will take us years to get them. So once the second truck is delivered, we bought the 2 other trucks 2 years, a year ago.
I think it was
A year
ago, yeah.
So we'll have 4 trucks within 2 years.
What's the delivery date on the next vehicle?
They haven't told us, but we were shocked that we got this one We thought we were gonna get it.
Are they special orders? Okay.
They're doing it just in time order, even for trucks. Yeah,
So you think we'll get 10 years out of these trucks?
I
Should
see.
be more than that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Some of them are 20 years old.
I saw the blue truck move down there.
Why can't we do GSA vehicles like federal government, like, that was a job for Department of Labor, we used to do GSA vehicles with the GSA plates, remember? Those government plates.
Yeah.
And they used to like rent them, and they take care of the maintenance and everything on it.
Oh, Lisa, yeah, do a lease, but I don't know if companies will do that. Well, I know they do, but is that more feasible for us?
Actually, less expensive.
Could be, it needs to be just purchased outright.
Right.
The issue is that the funds are in our account. We have the funds.
Yeah, right. Use it, but use no little still has something. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. Bozeman. Is there anything else? Okay. Okay, that concludes our agenda for this meeting. The next regularly scheduled meeting is for the Fitchburg Housing Authority. It's scheduled for May 21st at the C.J. Durkin Building. Okay, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Solo, seconded by Commissioner Wagner. All in favor?
Aye.